Hello there, YouTube. We got out the Compass Coin Pro 2. We'll show you some close-up pictures. That is a quarter down there. And something else close by is why I brought the tripod over here. Okay, we'll go up and show you some of the details of this thing. Okay, this is the Compass brand Coin Pro 2. These were made, the same model or similar was made through the 80s. I may be incorrect. There's people that know everything about these. I bought this about 10 years or more. Company is no longer in business. This did look a little better when I first got it. That's where the dial was glued in. Not going to go over a whole lot of things on this because there's so much information on the internet, but here's your power level when you turn it on. Your needle will go all the way up, so if your battery's good, then it will drop back. You really shouldn't do it without the coil hooked up. That's just my opinion. Here's what they call discrimination, okay, on most metal detectors. See where it says nails, foil, pull tab off pop cans, screw cap? Well, I will run around and I will leave this on garbage. Like say nails. I'll just come up. This is where the red arrow shows for the beginners. If you go like this, it's coins only. Well, I won't do that because I like digging everything. So I run it about around in here. If you want a wedding band, it's going to be around where tabs are when you first start learning about metal detectors. Learn as much as you can, because those people claim that, oh, this one's better for gold, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, I don't believe a lot of that. I talked quite a bit. The owner of the company, before I bought this, I have paperwork photocopied of almost every model made in its day that was similar to this. Some of these didn't have a dial. So I researched it a lot before I even bought this one. Here's your ground balance. I won't really go into that. You see for salt water, mineralized soil. Here's what they show you to run it if you're a beginner. If you look on the back of these, there's a little switch inside there. Unless you're been at it long as I was, don't mess with that in there. When you flip that switch, there's all kinds of mods on the internet, just like for CB radios and ham radios. It will make this all wacky. It makes it super sensitive, everything. I've switched it back and forth. I don't know where it is at now, but I usually just leave it in my area where I live. I leave it about here. If I really want to get nitpicky in some old place, I might start playing with the ground balance a little bit. And I don't even do that up and down ground balance. I just turn this because I've learned it makes it a little more sensitive. Okay, one of these presses, when you get over target, it shows how many inches it's deep. That's this bottom scale. I'll have pictures of this so it's easier. Up here where it says nickel rings, you have zinc pennies. 82 and newer is zinc, copper coated zinc pennies. That's the older, before 82, back in the old days of regular pennies. Now Indian head pennies are in between. So I have learned on Indian head pennies before I've dug them up, there is a nice sweet spot in here that tells you, if you set this just right, if you set this just so it just picks up a zinc penny, and then it don't, I can't tell you where it is in here. You will find that if you have metal detectors. If you will set it just right so it still picks up the zinc penny, that's how you get an Indian head penny on a lot of detectors, because they were not made out of copper like the other ones. And you could lose it by just putting over here just for coins and clicking it. That's what they called autonauts, just for coins only. Also in other countries, you get in other countries, coins are made out of different stuff. This company was supposed to be famous over across the pond there back in the years, so maybe somebody over there watching this can tell me what they think of them. Here's your light meter. You have different tones. You can turn the tones off, you will not hear anything. You can go dual or tritone. I use 3 tones, so you have 1 tone for nickel, or for iron I mean. 1 tone for like nickels would be more of a, I will demonstrate that, it'll be more of a higher sound, higher pitch for coins. And that pitch can change up here too, from a quarter, a half dollar to a silver dollar. No time to edit, spit it out, get the words right. Okay, I went over that enough, don't want to go into too much of it. This does come off it. This can go on your belt. This goes into here. So I've never had it on my belt. I have modified this thing. Eye hook. Those bungee things you hang over your shoulder. I tried to make one homemade. But I'm glad I did modify and put this on here. It's mine. I can hang this up. I've had places where I've hung this up so it's off the floor. Also, I've wrapped this around here. That's supposed to help. I put a bolt in here because this finally started wearing out where you adjust it. It's adjusting me, so I end up putting a bolt in here to lock it solid. Because these turn like those adjustable, like when you're painting with that adjustable handle. This is, I'm sure, considered a 6-inch coil no matter how big it is. When I got this, it had a nice gold sticker. If I knew these were going to be collectible, I never would have took that off there. It was so hard on my eyes in the sunny with sunglasses, it just drove me nuts. Some people don't like a coil that's not open, but if you see that X pattern, I have gotten pretty darn good at pinpointing. In fact, there is a button, one of the buttons on you press it, it goes to pinpoint. That means the signal gets stronger as you get closer to it. I just go by the ping ping and I exit out. I don't even hardly use that unless I come across something metal and I want to know how big it is because it keeps driving the metal detector nuts. Then we can dig up some big old piece of iron or something. You'll know how big it is. You'll know when you come into it. You'll figure the edges of it. Like if it's a foot, you'll be able to tell because of how the metal detector operates. But we won't get into a whole lot of that. We just want to do a little playing. We're going to throw some coins down and see if we can hold the camera and show you what the meter does. So, stay tuned. Okay, we're going to try to go over these. It's like a zinc penny, and this will hold your target till you get to the next one. That's where the ZN zinc is. We're going to go over a regular penny. You kind of see how it's up there. Then we'll go over a nickel. So we got to turn our discrimination down so pick it up. See, nickel almost sounds like iron. There's a quarter. Get our tripod. It's kind of hard to do it by myself. There's a quarter. Dime. Notes are similar. There's a $50 out here. Try to show that on the meter. Silver dollar almost buries it. So there's a $50. There's a quarter, which is lower, which in the pictures you'll be able to see. Now somewhere here I have a shell cartridge. There's a deck screw for putting in painted for your fence or wood deck. That's a shell cartridge. Now let's see that shell cartridge. I'll just tell you the number. If you go anywhere from 10 to 15, go over the screw, the needle hardly moves. So you'll learn that. When you get a metal detector, get all these objects. Borrow them from another metal detector person. Use shell casings, different coins. Notice there's almost a different tone on that casing. If you stand on it, it'll be different. Go back to the $50. You can almost see that on the camera down there. But I've gotten so used to going like this, X pattern and turning, I don't use the pinpoint feature. And I know in my mind, like I imagine I'm looking through that coil. So don't turn down a metal detector that has a solid coil. I have a 1-foot coil for this, and you talk about hard to use because they do not discriminate well. They will pick up everything. Back to the quarter. Quarters on here is about 75. I haven't used this in a while, so I forget that. $50 like 85. Silver dollar is 90 plus. A dime is between where it says dime and penny. Penny is straight up. Zinc penny. Zinc penny will be down where it says zinc. Notice the difference between a zinc penny and a good copper penny. I can't find an in-hand penny without getting into my stash of coins, so Trust me, they're in between. Nickel. A lot of people discriminate. They don't want to get nickels because it's down where pull tabs are. Go over that cartridge again. So how you hit the end of that cartridge, if I can get it out of here. I don't know if you can see it down there. Yeah, I think you can kind of see it. It will change. So relic hunters, they're going to pick about anything. If you're out hunting somewhere that's an old site, you want to dig about everything you find. I wouldn't worry about digging some garbage if I brought home something good. There's back on the metal screw. Okay, we're going to pause this, take this off, and just wander around my yard.